Hey, this is Phil from Baseball Card Exchange, and welcome to another show of the BBCE podcast. So again, I'm Phil Endress, and I'm here with the owner of Baseball Card Exchange, Steve Hart. And today we're going to be talking about the National Sports Collectors Convention experience, what goes into that as far as preparation is concerned, and what we have planned for the 2025 National Sports Collectors Convention. Steve, glad you're here.
No problem. Glad I'm here too.
Another episode here of the BBC podcast. People are really liking this, enjoying it. A lot of people have asked us, what do you do to get ready for the National Sports Card Convention? What are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish? How much preparation goes into it? So we'll take these, I guess, one at a time.
Okay.
First thing, is there a lot of preparation that goes into getting ready for the National?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of throws a monkey wrench into the regular business for about a month before. Rick is the one who in the back who gets everything ready for the show, the unopened, the displays, the shelving, everything that's involved with getting it there and getting it back.
Yeah.
The security, the cameras, everything.
Yeah, that's a good point you just bring up there. Not a lot of people understand all of the dynamics that are involved. I mean, nowadays we have a lot of people that are lifting things off people's tables at card shows, and so now we have to have our own security system as well.
Yeah, I think last year we also have 2 regular dealer booths where we sell all of our high-grade vintage PSA material.
Correct.
And I think last year we had several cameras, different angles from all over the place. There had been some recent high-valued thefts at shows. So we decided it was a good idea to do the best we can on making sure everything was watched over.
Okay. So what are the goals of Baseball Card Exchange in attending the National Sports Collectors Convention, and how many years has Baseball Card Exchange had an appearance at the convention?
I believe we've had an appearance in the corporate area for probably 10 years. And then I think since we're a priority 10, that means we were 10 years before that. So probably about 2 decades.
Oh, wow.
We've set up in some way at the National.
Okay. So close to 20 years. So you probably started the National Convention around, early 2000s then, huh?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. So no Nationals in the 90s for you?
I believe in the late 90s I did set up, but I might have been the secondary on the table, so I was, set up with someone else.
Okay. So now, for those of you that don't know, I do a lot of the shows, going and setting up, especially on the East Coast, or the shows that have been around longer. Billy, who is the retail store manager, he does some of the newer shows with more modern.
Yes.
But this is the only show really that you do,
Yeah.
and Rick does.
Yep.
And I guess that's why we have a job, right?
Yeah.
There's so many moving parts and other things going on with the business that makes Baseball Card Exchange. You just simply don't have the time.
Yeah, getting out of the office for me for 3 or 4 days at a time just, throws me back 2 or 3 weeks in, delay and, getting back to normal. So that's why the National throws a monkey wrench into it for about a month before and about 2 weeks afterwards.
Yeah.
Because it's such a big process of doing the whole show.
But your mind, I think, throughout the year is probably at least always on. You're able to focus on just one show.
Yes.
And the goals of Baseball Card Exchange, and to put our best foot forward, if you will, at the National Sports Collectors Convention. And when I say that, I mean product, authentication, all of the things that BBCE offers. Can you just talk about some of those things that we're going to offer at the 2025 National again?
Yeah, in our corporate area this year, the only thing we will have available is unopened cases and unopened boxes. Unfortunately, we won't be able to carry packs, rack packs, graded packs. So everything at the corporate booth will be cases and boxes. And, of course, we'll have a pretty impressive display of vintage, modern, like we usually do every year. And at the corporate booth is also where we'll be doing authentication and wrapping for the public. Or you could just drop it off the corporate booth and we'll bring it back to the offices.
Okay.
Our second location, we have 2 dealer booths, and that will be all 95% graded PSA material. And then we'll have some raw sets, and probably over there we'll have some of the packs and rack packs.
Okay. Now, every year at the National, especially when it's in Chicago, obviously when it is in Chicago, people are driving through, and they usually come just about 7 or 8 miles away from us, 80, 94.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, first of all, you're invited to come stop at the store, check it out. We're at 709B US Highway 41 in Cherville. And then there's others that call us, contact us, email us with a large quantity of items they'd like to drop off for authentication.
Right. There's no reason to bring it to the show and, lug it in. Just come straight to the warehouse or the offices
Right.
on your way. I mean, basically, anybody coming from the East Coast has to come within 5 or 6 miles of our offices at the bottom of the lake. So
Correct.
Yep.
And even if you're coming from the West,
it's not that difficult to hit us and then backtrack a few miles to head north.
Right. Plus, we have pretty good restaurants right around here,
Yep.
and
Nice hotels, everything. Yep.
Exactly. So if you do have a large amount of authentication that you'd like to drop off, we're certainly happy to facilitate that. Probably send an email to us or give us a phone call.
Yeah,
and
just let us know up front.
And we'll coordinate that.
And if you do have a bunch and you can only bring it to the shop, the National Convention, we'll facilitate exchanging it out in the parking lot, so that way, again, you don't have to lug in all the stuff, in which case we're just going to lug it back out anyway. So.
And at the corporate area, we'll just simply be selling cases and unopened boxes.
Correct.
Will we still have any rack packs or cello packs anywhere?
Those should be at the regular dealer booths we have, which are numbers 963 and
1062?
1062, right next to each other.
Correct.
And it's relatively close to our corporate booth, too.
And our corporate booth number is 339.
Yes. Yep.
So make sure you write that down. And of course, you're probably going to look around the building anyway, so you'll find us.
You'll see the big overhead hanging sign, so it's hard to miss.
Yep. And of course, we will still be buying at the National.
Yep.
So come and visit us, and we will figure out the logistics from there. And happy to buy.
See what we could do. One of the reasons we do this show is to get the opportunity to purchase stuff or even take in consignments for the auction.
Yeah. So the National has grown, since you started, certainly in the early 2000s, but it has become a much bigger event than probably many thought would ever happen.
Correct. Yep.
And so there's a lot to see. Make sure you bring some water if you're going to walk around.
Good pair of shoes.
Good pair of shoes. Bring lots of money.
Yeah. I mean, not being funny, but there's plenty to buy, things you don't see all the time.
That's right.
In fact, throughout the years, we kind of salt away a few pieces that we hold just for the National. So we'll have some pretty cool items this year that, I don't remember seeing in a very long time.
Yes. And so we won't divulge those items if you call the store right now.
Yep. Just a few things we'd like to, bring to surprise.
Absolutely. So again, and a lot of our rack pack customers, they love to come immediately and check out which ones we have. So make sure you go to booth 963 and 1062.
Our regular dealer booths. Yep.
Our regular dealer booths. And we'll have a lot of vintage there, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think last year we had nearly 1,000 PSA graded, pre-1970 cards.
Okay.
Lots of pre-war, lots of 50s, 60s.
Same this year?
Same this year. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Rattle off a couple nice ones.
Oh, boy. We'll have plenty of Ruths, Garys, Cobbs, Mathewsons, Cy Youngs, Mantle, Williams, Koufax, everything.
All the big boys.
Yep.
So it'll be great. Hey, we're looking forward to seeing you at the 2025 National. Again, all of our information will be here on the screen. Write it down. And again, if you have any authentication that you want to drop off at our warehouse, we're happy to facilitate that. Give us a call, reach out to us.
Oh, and one other thing.
Yeah.
Make sure you watch our social media leading up to the show, as we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways at the corporate booth each day. Absolutely.
So stay tuned for that. Lots of really cool giveaways. You don't want to miss the National 2025. And we'll see you there.
Hope to see you then.